That is my hand. I am Jake, and this is my take on Dace fried rice, after having watched the canned Dace video by Chinese Cooking Demystified. The link for that is in the description. So here I have the namesake ingredient of this dish, whole fried dace with salted black beans and oil. I picked up a pack of 6 from Amazon for like 26 bucks and then later found them at a Asian market in the city for half the price. And that right there is a mostly whole fish, just without the head. You can see the salted black beans, they're soft and smooth textured and they have tons of flavor. So save them if you don't use them immediately. Not the most appetizing visually to those unaccustomed like me, but if you're used to funky smelling food like this stuff is wonderful. I'll dig it out with a fork so we can get a better look. Tears apart pretty easily. Ooh, you can see the tail by the fork there and the fins too. You just sit tight, buddy. So here I have my ingredients, starting off with some cooked and somewhat dry white rice. I got some white pepper, cayenne pepper, Szechuan pepper, and chili flakes for my spices. For my aromatics, I have the salted black beans from the fish can. I got chopped garlic and some bay leaf. I got shiitake rehydrating juice mixed with sake. I have the rehydrated shiitake mushrooms. Green beans cut into about 1-inch lengths. Jalapenos, both pickled and fresh, sliced. And the dace, chopped into little chunks about a 1/2 inch wide. Oh, and the cooking oil, of course. I went with avocado. Check to see if your wok is hot enough. Yep, that's hot. And add your cooking oil. Now you're going to do what's called long yao, where essentially you just roll your wok around to spread the oil across the cooking surface, like so. It works very well. I definitely recommend you do it. Now, for the mushrooms, because mushrooms can survive the longest cook time out of any of the other ingredients here. Let those cook for a while. The wok was starting to feel a little cool to me. Give it a good stir. Once you're satisfied with your stirring, add the next ingredient, green beans. Give everything a good stir and then let it cook for a few minutes. After a few minutes, scoot everything to the side to make way for the jalapenos. I personally like to blacken my jalapenos a little bit, or just any peppers, when I cook them. I think it balances out their sweetness just a little bit. So just try to get them all flat on the surface of the wok. And make sure it's hot enough. After a few minutes of cooking, give the jalapenos a flip, and as you can see, mine aren't really black on the other side, and that's because my wok wasn't hot enough. Stir everything together, and then scoop it all out to make room for the next step.
Very intricate and unique style of water and button combos.
Add some more oil, and if you're a lazy urod like I am, you can just scrape the oil around with your spatula. Works almost the same, doesn't sound nearly as nice. Then add your aromatics. Scooch them around a little, mix them around. And then add the fish. Stir everything together and fry for another few minutes. Now, add your white rice.
No, thank you. Campaign, no.
And begin to use this technique that I learned after watching a bunch of fried rice videos by Chinese Cooking Demystified. Basically, what you're going to do is flatten the rice with the bottom of your spatula, let it cook a little, and then scrape it off. What they do is they flip it, but I found it better to kind of cut into the rice and then scrape forward just a little bit.
Even if I definitely went a long way to do that, definitely not managed it, but it's gone a long way down that road to reviving the theme. Hopeful that here, and it's a really good.
Kind of like that, right there. To me, it felt like I was getting the lumps out quicker doing that. Oh, and don't forget to add the spices now, since you forgot to put them in with the oil earlier. And add the vegetables as well.
Had me so excited. I love the idea of watching this like only agent that was really mysterious and
Stir everything around. It's starting to look nice and pretty now. And add your alcohol mixture, whatever it might be. Stir everything around. You can see all that steam coming up. That's really good. Beautiful. See the colors starting to come in with the rice. It's turning brown. Add the rest of the sake mixture. And to be honest, I should have let the wok heat up more. That's a general theme here, is the wok is not hot enough. I will elaborate on this at the end of the video. Stir everything around till you're satisfied with how it looks. And remove it from the pan.
what I love, and that just helped me love it even more, honestly. I love Halo Wars 2, sometimes more than Halo Wars, sometimes.
And we're done. Looking beautiful. Now, I took some out to try some, and tasted like I forgot to fucking season it. Isn't that just... It's just so fun when that happens. But it was an easy issue to fix. I just put it all back in the wok, put some MSG and salt into it at about a 1-to-2 ratio, pulled it back out, put it in a bowl, and it was, delicious. Now let's discuss what I think I did wrong or what I would have done differently. The first thing is just maintain a higher heat through the whole cooking process. I was kind of skittish, having hardly used both the wok and the burner prior to recording, so I kept the heat low. I also needed a better spot to use them, since the wind there was sapping the heat from the side of my wok pretty much constantly while recording. I feel like I should have added a diced shallot and some fresh ginger to the aromatics. Those two ingredients add, in the case of the shallot, some delicious savoriness that just wasn't there because it didn't have any kind of onion in the dish. And ginger, especially fresh, adds a really good bite to the dish, along with a good kind of, I don't know, floral aroma. And I have no idea why I didn't use them here. It seems pretty obvious in hindsight. The spices should have been tossed in with the rest of the aromatics as well, as toasting spices obviously gives them a lot more depth of flavor and also puts that flavor into the cooking oil, helping it spread around the dish much more easily. I should have cranked the heat up when I put the jalapenos in, so they would actually have gotten a good char on one side, because the bitterness from that blackening goes together so well with the slight sweetness that peppers have. Lastly, I would have added all the black beans from the can into the dish. While they do have tons of flavor, there was just too much other ingredients for them to really shine like they should. Fried Dace and salted black beans are wonderful ingredients to work with, and they're just so different to what I know, having been raised in the West. And I highly recommend you go check out your closest Asian market or go online and find them to buy a few cans. I could see this stuff working great for ramen, soup, stir fries, and in fact, I know they do because I've done all three of those things. I even put it in scrambled eggs and it was delicious. If you have any ideas, please put them in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to hear them. And that about does it for my commentary and thoughts. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you disliked it, give it a dislike. If you want to see more of whatever this channel's gonna be, Subscribe and I'll make some more videos. Have a wonderful day and take care of yourself, okay?